welcome back to episode 83 of G'day from the USA. I'm your host, Lady Amanda, and I thought it would be fun to have a chat about what it's really like for an Australian living and working in the USA. I am here, well, let me just say where here is, in the Florida Keys, Key West, with my most amazing friend, Julie.
Hi, everyone.
As you all may remember from a very long time ago, because I don't think you've been on for a while.
Like maybe April or March
Or
February.
Yes, I think that's more accurate.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's been a while.
You
Julie.
know what? One of the last times I was on was when we went to Skamania Lodge and took your equipment.
That is true. Julie, if you remember, was born and raised in Canada, Kamloops, Canada.
Yes.
Moved to Washington. Well, moved to the USA.
Yep.
And has been living here ever since. And yeah, she's a ripe old age of 30-ish. It is so amazing to have you on again and to be here.
Oh, it's so fun.
In the Florida Keys.
So fun to be down here.
What has been your highlight so far?
I think we've had good highlights every day. Let's see. I came on
Wednesday,
because today's Saturday. Came on Wednesday. Flew into Miami. Decent flight. Flew into Miami, and Amanda and I met at the hotel that we had booked, and we got there within about 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah, I drove down from Alabama. So it was a trek because it was torrential downpours.
I had by far the better deal. I just had to sit on the plane and read my book.
Because I was thinking when I left home at 5 a.m. and I was thinking this is 3 a.m. for Julie is what I was thinking. Then as I was driving along and I flipped an hour once I got to Florida, so then it was another hour, and I was like thinking, yeah, Julie's still sleeping. She hasn't even left for the airport yet.
Yep.
But we did get here at the same time, which was very coincidental and bizarre.
Yeah, and then I called Amanda for we talked when I was in Dallas. I had a quick change of planes, and we thought that she would get to the airport, Miami airport area, much quicker than, much before me. And it ended up that no, because of traffic and construction and
the weather. There was so
crazy
many
rain.
accidents.
Yeah. So anyways, and then that, let's see, on the way to the hotel, I asked the cab driver, who was very nice, where was a good place to eat. And he gave me this name. I wrote it down, of this Cuban restaurant that we needed to go to.
Versailles.
So that was kind of the highlight so we went there, and that was amazing. And probably, at least 3 or 4 other people said that is the place to go in the Miami area.
It is touted as the most famous Cuban restaurant in the world.
That's what it says. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. I could write that on something like, this is the most famous podcast
ever
in the world.
Yes, and it would be true.
And obviously it's true because I've said it and I'm going to write it.
But this little restaurant, kind of unassuming in a way, very nice. Well, actually, first when we drove up, I thought, ooh, maybe it's fancy because they have the girls outside that, kind of like check you in. And I'm like, we don't have reservations. But the waiters were all in, not tuxes, but, black pants, white shirts, and little bow ties.
It looked fancy. Like I was actually scared to see the prices.
And so tell them what we paid.
So shocking of all shocks, the prices were incredibly cheap. Like a main meal was about $11 to $13. We ended up just getting 2 appetizers, croquettes.
And what was the other thing?
Empanadas.
Okay.
So I think there was 3 empanadas, like a beef, a chicken, and ham. Wasn't it ham? Fish?
Something like that, yeah.
And then the croquettes, I think there was the same. There was like 2 ham, 1 beef, and 1 cod.
I think there were 4 of those, maybe.
There was.
Yeah.
4 croquettes.
Yep.
But that's
so
why
we shared,
2
because
ham.
that's what we like to do.
Yes, we shared. And then we lashed out and got we cannot say this, tres leches.
Tres leche, yep.
Cake, which it would seem so legit because it was like a piece of white cake.
Right.
with like milk or sweetened condensed milk. Not sweetened condensed, like almost like evaporated milk or something.
On the bottom.
Yeah. With some marshmallow cream it tasted like on the top.
Yes.
Sure it wasn't that, but it was amazing.
Delicious.
So that was the highlight. The next day. The bill, yes.
Was like $19.48.
Yes, for two people for dinner and dessert. And we just say,
couldn't eat it all.
I was about to say, we didn't even eat it all. And he said, do you want a box? And we said, no, we're staying in a hotel. Yeah. All good. Then the next morning we had a free brekkie.
Right, which was good.
So we love that. Yeah, we had some waffles. I love that they have these little waffle machines at the hotels and you can just like pour your own batter in, cook them fresh.
Yeah, and they were like a little, maybe 3-inch Belgian waffles. And so they were thicker and they were nice and fluffy.
That was bloody good. Yeah, you had the malted
vanilla.
Yeah, and I had the banana
bread or something. Banana nut.
Yes, it was great.
Yep. And so then, when did we have our first Cuban coffee?
Did we? No, that was after the pool. Oh, we went to the bank.
Okay, so we
just did a pit stop at the bank, and then we ended up in Coral Gables. And Chrissa, shout out to Chrissa, said you need to go to the. Well, she sent a link saying the largest freshwater pool in the USA.
Right.
So we had to go see it. So when we were there, Julie, what happened?
So, well, let's back up a little bit in case people have ever been to Coral Gables, but it is a very nice area.
Very affluent.
Very affluent, which I guess they just passed this year Beverly Hills for the most affluent.
The most expensive houses and the richer area.
Yep. And when I was kind of hanging out, I had a little time to waste, so I was Googling places for realtor for sale at Coral Gables, and most of them are very much in the high millions, like 10 million, 8 million.
Yeah. So we bought a couple and then went on our way.
So then we found this cute little park, and it's very old there, meaning back in the 1920s they lived there.
That's correct.
And so we looked at the Venetian pool, and it looked very nice. And then we went up some stairs and we're looking, and then the sun came out and kind of shone on the pool, and we heard this, whoa.
It literally was like that.
Whoa. And Amanda said, I think it would be a crime if we didn't get in. And I said, I think you're right.
I have a strong pull towards water.
Yeah,
and I think you're the same.
I do too, yep.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Had we saw the pool, and of course it looked lovely, but would we have walked away had the sun not come out?
Because I don't know. I mean, it looked nice.
It still looked nice, but could we have been like, next? But it was when the sun came out that the angels started singing.
Yeah,
the
and
water
it was
glistened.
It's such a nice pool as far as people should go on and Google it. And it's not just your average sized, rectangle, square, plain Jane pool. It's very beautiful.
It was an old rock quarry. They used to dig out the limestone rocks to build the houses nearby.
Yep, in the 1920s.
Yeah, so I think it was 1923 that it was built.
Yep. And then around the pool, they had, it just looked very, even though it's not California, it looked very Hollywood to me. Like these chairs that you could sit, looked like back in the day, it was probably a big booming thing.
The day we went, there were 2 celebrities there.
Us?
Yes. But it was amazing. It was, like we said, built in 1923. The most fascinating part of this whole story to me.
Well, so let me interrupt. So Amanda looks at me and she goes, let's go in. So our swimsuits were right in the car, just across the street.
We raced back.
So we just raced back, grabbed our suits and went and changed, and 5 minutes later we're in the pool.
We jumped in, and as I was saying before I was interrupted, the best part or the most amazing part to me was that every day in the summer, this huge, what was it, 81,000 gallons, or I can't remember.
Something like that.
Something huge amount. is drained every day. Mm-hmm. If you look at this pool, you'll think, how is this possible? Like once I was in, I said, not a chance. I call bullshit. It's never going to happen. But apparently it does. They drain the entire pool. It takes 3.5 hours. I watched it on YouTube because I didn't believe it.
Yep.
And then it takes 3.5 hours to fill it back up again. So every night, overnight, for 7 hours, they are doing this to the pool.
Yeah. And they had these like, we've been very lucky on just timing things just right. But they had these little caves because the limestone. And so originally they were closed when we first got in, and then the lifeguard went over and opened them up. So we got to kind of swim through these little caves.
And they were probably open for maybe 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And it just happened to be the time we were there, which was incredible. Are you going to go there? Are you going there? Oh, no. Oh, God, this is embarrassing. Okay.
So, you're talking about something.
Oh, God.
So, anyways, they had, I think, 2 lifeguards on duty in the chairs at all times. The third one was kind of meandering around, and they were very serious about their jobs. A couple times they had their whistles, so, and it wasn't very busy at all, but there were some little kids, well, not little kids, but I don't know, whatever sized, and they were over in the deeper end, and then there was a ladder, and you could... It
was a very tall ladder.
Yeah, you could exit up this rock thing, but you couldn't go back in, and so then the lifeguard's like, blew his whistle, toot toot, and then he, shakes his finger like no, and so they were really
exit only.
Yeah, they were really watching people. Even a dad went into the cave, and they blew the whistle and told him to get out.
Yeah, they were all over it.
Yeah, so and it was for each of us to go in. What was it? 37, 27, 17. Okay,
I actually
34 for both. Yeah,
misread the board that said $675, and I was like, it's a bargain.
Yep.
But when we got to the board, I then read that it was $675 for residents. So if you had an ID.
Yeah. But it was completely worth it. But anyway, so I had 100%. Been watching the lifeguards. They were taking turns, a couple guys, like maybe 3 guys and a gal. And so I'm watching them. And then Amanda, a little bit later, she's over and she comes over by me. We're, of course, still in the water, and she's looking at this lifeguard up. And I hope he's not listening. I forget his name, but because they were very nice. We talked to them afterwards. She's looking up at this lifeguard, and she goes, I think that dude's autistic.
I didn't say it quite like that. I said it with compassion. I said, I think the lifeguard's autistic. And then she said, why? And I said, he keeps shaking his head, bobbing his head.
He keeps bobbing his head.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say it with a laugh. I was just like, it was an observation, like, interesting.
Like he keeps bobbing.
Yeah,
like a very noticeable, what's the word? Not defined.
Like literally extended his neck right up and then down, right down to his chin.
Yep.
And it went on over and over.
And then he's going like 180 degrees at least because he's scanning the whole thing.
Yeah, constantly bob up, bob down, bob up, bob down.
And his head's turning.
Right.
I'm like, Amanda, he's scanning the pool, make sure nobody drowns.
I know. I felt like an idiot.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing. And then today we were in the pool and just remembering about it, and I was laughing so hard. I
felt like an absolute idiot because I was so serious and I was like concerned and so impressed that he was doing this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Julie's just like, oh God, you idiot. Like he's literally doing his job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it must be a new rule that they physically have to move their head up and down.
Because I noticed the girl was doing it too. She wasn't, so that's why I thought
she wasn't as pronounced. I guess
she wasn't quite as autistic.
But yes, that was an absolute highlight. Then after that, we went to the bakery, the Versailles Bakery. So basically, the same place we went for dinner the night before. We went back to the bakery.
We'll skip the part about going into. They have a lot of. They have a lot of cosmetic surgery things in that area.
Don't even go there.
I'll just skip over it. But Coral Gables is, very fancy part. even they've got wide streets, but they have a real low number of traffic lights. Maybe they don't like that there. Maybe it doesn't look good or something to have traffic lights because it's really
interesting.
Remember how getting across the road? Yeah,
hard to drive.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'll just say there was this one cosmetic surgery place. We were just going to go in and ask a question. Well, of course, you have to know the secret code to get in and get buzzed in.
And we just followed someone in.
And you have to be all, fancy pants to get in there and look the part, which I guess we didn't look the part that day.
We'd just been swimming, I think, so we were just like bedraggled.
And so, but a lady was in front of us, so we just snuck in behind her through these 2 locked doors. And then we went and inquired about this information, and the guy just kind of looks at us and like, where did you come from and how did you get in?
It was extremely awkward. So Julie threw me to the wolves and pushed me in front of her and was like, you talk. But I did, and it was very embarrassing. But anyway, after that, we did go get some beautiful, the coffee, the Cuban coffee.
And the one lifeguard, because they had given us ideas where to go. They were such nice kids. And said you have to get this coffee, the Cuban coffee, and it comes in small cups. It's little cups. He said it's like jet fuel. Don't be like a lot of people and order a great big mug because you'll give yourself a heart attack.
Yeah, and I was tempted once I tasted it. I was like, holy crap, that's amazing.
And actually yesterday in the morning we did get a medium-sized. I can easily drink a little bit more. So for the coffee in the morning. But anyways, it is delicious. But I think it has a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah.
And then cream, because when we were getting it yesterday, we were watching these Hispanic ladies making it. And I was watching her scoop the sugar into it, so...
I do love that there's a lot of authentic, like Cuban restaurants. I feel like we've had a lot of good Cuban food. Like even yesterday when we had the breakfast sandwich. Wow.
Yeah, so we're kind of skipping around, but we went down we had spent the night on the way down here, and then we went to a very authentic, it reminded me of Mexico.
Right.
Very... So we didn't even really know what we were ordering. Well, we actually pointed to a couple of things and asked the lady. And then there were these 2 sandwiches, and she was asking about them, and we kind of just picked one of them.
Problem is she didn't speak English and we didn't speak Spanish.
I thought it was a little...
Which I felt bad about.
I thought it was just a little breakfast sandwich. Turns out it's like this huge, great big giant sandwich
roll
with egg
almost.
And
It was bloody
very good bread, yeah.
Oh, and the guava and cheese pastries are to die for.
Yep, that was good.
Where can we ever get them back on the mainland?
I don't know. But that was a fun place to go. And then should we talk quickly about the turtle?
Yes.
Okay. So then down in Marathon, which if anybody's headed this way, definitely stop at the Turtle Hospital. It's
in Marathon Key.
Marathon Key.
I made the embarrassing mistake of saying, why is everything else a key, like Key Largo, Key West, and why is it just Marathon? And she said, it's Marathon Key.
Yep.
Duh.
Yeah. It looks a little bit unassuming on the outside. And I probably should have thought ahead and had more information, but the guy that started it, what did he do? He was retiring and he was doing something, and he bought an old hotel, kind of like the old-fashioned ones.
Yeah,
where the
like from
rooms,
the 50s, outdoor little rooms, like connected to each other.
Yep. And then I guess he had some marine life in there or something? And then some kid came and asked him, the Ninja Turtles were popular, asked him where his turtles were, and he thought, I'll start a turtle hospital. And then a few years later, a big hurricane came in, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And flooded everything with at least 5 feet of water. So they had to decide either can keep the hotel rooms or we can keep the hospital. So they chose to keep the hospital. So now the rooms, they don't rent out anymore. They are just for some of the employees. But anyways, we had a tour by a gal named Victoria.
She was amazing.
Amazing. And again, we got lucky again because we decided we're going on the 11 o'clock. And the group in front of us was probably 20 people. And the group behind us was probably 18, 20 people. And in our group, it was Amanda, I, and one other couple.
Amazing.
And we had Victoria to
Pretty much had like a private tour.
Mm-hmm.
My highlight was watching the vet work on the turtles, like drawing blood and that.
Yeah, they said,
my heart was going out though every time they tried so hard to get the blood. I was like, is this hurting?
Yeah, and no, they were getting, they were drawing blood. I forget which turtle. All the turtles have names.
I remember.
What?
Big Fat Brianna.
Oh, was it Brianna? They were getting the...
That was her name. So apparently the turtles are named by the person who rescues them. So if a boat is driving along and finds a turtle, they bring it in. And yes, this one was named Big Fat Brianna.
Yeah, they just were calling her Brianna, I think, weren't they?
Big Fat Brianna. Yeah.
They were drawing blood out of her neck. Did you see that?
Yeah. That's but it wasn't as simple as there's a vein. It was like pull it in, pull it out. Like once it was under the skin, it was just like jab, jab, jab.
Yeah. And there was another one that she had got her top shell kind of scrubbed that morning earlier. And then I forget her name, but she was a little feisty. Remember just that man handled her and...
Yeah, I think that was Brianna. Maybe...
Was that Brianna too?
No, maybe that was Brianna, Big Fat Brianna. And then I can't think of the other one, but you're right. The blood test one was different.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
That was a highlight for me.
Yeah, a highlight. And then they have this amazing gift shop, which, you know, we're both kind of a sucker for if the money benefits something good. Let's buy a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes, it was a non-profit. So, yeah, I was going to buy, you know, like people a few little gifts from down here. So I was like, I should just buy them T-shirts here because, you know, the $30 for a T-shirt will go towards them.
Good.
You know, maybe that cost them $5 to make the T-shirt, but at least they'll get the money and put it towards the rescue.
So we both, you know, got some gifts.
Lashed out, yes.
Yeah. And then what did we do after that? I guess we
started heading down to Key West.
Yeah. There were some big clouds that we were kind of watching, rain clouds, which were kind of interesting because blue sky and then very stark line and then there's the rain cloud. Right past the 7 Mile Bridge, we noticed that there was a nice pull off with a beach, and so we actually zipped by and then we went and turned around and went back. And
I was shocked at how hot the water is. It's honestly like getting into a hot bath because it's so shallow.
Yep.
Yeah, and even the pool where we're staying now, it's just like someone said, oh, it's weird they heat the pools. And Julie and I said, I don't think they do. I think this is just the temperature of the water.
Maybe. Because like right now, of course, we're sitting inside, but right now if we went outside, it is very, very humid.
Oh, the sweat just drips.
Yeah, a little bit more used to it because it's like our third day or whatever. But the first day, I'm like, oh, and it reminded me kind of like how it is in Asia. I mean, I've heard people say Florida is humid. Yeah, it's humid.
It is. On a side note, I did skip over this, but the odds that Chrissa and her family would be arriving in Miami literally the same day that we were there was so bizarre. So we caught up in the marathon and then again in Key West, which was amazing. Yeah. They ended up getting they rented, it was through Turo. Have you heard of that? Turo or Turo. It's basically a private place that you can rent cars. So it was someone's private car.
Really?
Yeah, and they rented this
Never heard of that.
2024 Charger.
Oh, really?
It was a Mustang.
I didn't even know people did that.
Yeah, I think she said it was, I can't remember what she said. I did ask, I just don't remember. But she said it wasn't too bad.
Private people rent out their cars?
Yeah, like just say you have a car and you're like, if anyone wants to rent it for 3 days, it'll be $200 or whatever.
Huh.
But yes, that was fun, and I got to take the Mustang for a spin.
Yeah, it was a Charger, wasn't it?
It has a horse, like, you know when you open the door, it has a horse on the ground.
Oh,
so that would be a Mustang.
Then it is a Mustang.
Is a Mustang a Charger?
No.
Anyway, it was a beautiful car. And she said, take it for a spin. And I was like, I don't mind if I do. Mm-hmm. So I got in and was not to the metal. It barely even was like a down. And it was just like it was full on V8. It was very, very powerful.
Oh, was it a V8?
Oh, for sure. And then I literally turned onto Duval Street or whatever. And then I was just stuck in traffic, bumper to bumper. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really get a chance to open it up. But as I turned right into a one-way street.
The wrong way?
Oh, yes.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, oh, that's so weird. The bikes are there. How am I meant to fit through? And then I'm like, is this the one? Holy shit. So I quickly and then carried on as if it never happened. But the highlight was as I was driving past another Mustang and this other girl was driving. We both put our hands out the window. Hot car. And she's like, we're just like we're chatting like that back to each other. It was cute.
Yeah, I had gone into the pool, so I wasn't there.
Resting your knee.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So shall we just do a quick little update on what we're going to do tomorrow so then we can talk about it when we get back?
Okay.
Please share.
So one of the highlights I had heard of coming down to the Key West area is to go, and maybe next time we talk about this, I'll have some information, but to go to an island called the Dry Tortugas. So I guess Tortugas means turtles. And there is a fort on this island. I believe it's about a 10-acre island. And it's called Fort Jefferson. And from the 1800s.
That reminds me of my little squirrel, Jefferson.
Yeah, from the 1800s. So anyways, so we are taking this charter boat. You have to book it ahead. I don't know if it's going to be completely full. I think it holds a couple hundred people. So we're going to be down there at 7 in the morning. And 2 hour and 15 minute approximately boat ride. Kind of a big boat, like almost like a charter, like a ferry type boat, without cars.
I'm picturing Gilligan's Island. A 3-hour trip. What was it?
3-hour tour.
That's what I'm picturing. So if we're stuck there, if you don't hear a podcast next week, send help to the Dry Tortugas.
Yep. And so we're going to go out there. Then you can get a little tour of the fort. And then you snorkel. I think they're going to give us lunch, probably a box lunch or something. And then we just hang out on the beaches.
Oh, my God.
Snorkel
And this, if you picture us now in Key West, we're pretty much at the southernmost point of the US. Mm-hmm. So when we get on this boat, we are going to be even further into the beautiful ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm incredibly excited. I was going to say, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Karen, who went on a vacation recently and caught up on all that episode. She's just been like sitting there binging.
Oh.
Never thought I would use that word for my podcast, anyone binging, but she definitely binged. And she did point out last week that it was episode 82 and I said episode 83. And at the end of the episode, Ashley said, you said 83, but I think it was 82. When I said, why didn't you say something? And she goes, because I wasn't 100% sure. I thought maybe it really was 83, but no. It was definitely 82 and this is 83. Shout out also to Emma because she religiously listens and will be listening to this probably tomorrow. So thank you. And, of course, Kitty because she's always all over it. And everyone else, we just appreciate you. And, thank you.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. There's so many fun, interesting things to do down here for the people that haven't been. It is truly kind of a good bucket list place to go.
It has been on my bucket list forever. I mean, I've been to all 50 states, as we know, but there's many things in each state that I've always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And the Florida Keys was one. Mm-hmm. Like the furthest down I'd been was probably Orlando. Mm-hmm. So, there's so much more beyond that.
Yeah, some people we were talking to at the pool today, just because you fly into Miami, you don't have to quote, do Miami, because we really didn't. When we were going through some of the parts like Little Havana.
Yeah, we stayed off the beaten track.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Very much like you could be in Mexico.
And then Coral Gables, that wasn't really on the Can we just do a quick thing? I know we're about to wrap it up, but the guy we met in the pool, that he basically had a Playboy bunny on his shoulder.
Right.
And I said to him, I feel like there's a story of this Playboy bunny.
Yeah.
And he said, do you want to hear the Playboy bunny story or the scar story?
Yeah.
And I said, tell me the tattoo story first. And he basically said he was 18, wanted a tattoo, and saw someone in a T-shirt walking past with that and was like, oh, I'll get that.
Which was
and he regrets it. But the scar story, and Julie picked it. She said lung operation.
Yeah, right.
Because he had 3
you could
scars.
tell what was on his back. You could tell.
Yeah, 3. And it was like very deep and almost, what would you call it?
Well, so that one scar, why that looked bad is because, remember, he got sepsis.
Yeah, it was the one above that almost looked like a hole.
And so he had some drains, yeah. Long story short, they were from Oregon.
Yes.
And the lady before him that we were talking to, remember, she was from
also
Oregon.
from Oregon, from Gresham.
Yep. And she was meeting up with her friend,
her Chinese exchange student.
Yeah, but she lived now in Ecuador.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Good, we've got good memories.
Yeah. It was only today.
Considering we were in the pool, like floating about.
Anyways, long story short, the guy from Oregon, Lebanon area, I think he is, got COVID in 22. And so that
young
was,
guy.
Yeah, like he got it when he was like 50, but
it was like a 1 in a million chance that he would survive, and he's actually in record books for being the sickest patient.
Well, it was in
to survive.
I think that was in that hospital. It was Corvallis, so it's not like the hugest hospital.
Oh, I thought it was literally like in a magazine or something like given to the health department like this is the sickest patient that has survived.
No, I don't think so. No, he was only in Corvallis, so. But he was intubated.
It was a story.
It
like
was a good story.
And medical induced coma for 2 weeks. They didn't think he would live. They brought in the palliative care team, and long story short, he lived to tell the tale.
Yeah,
and he's now in the pool.
Yeah, on vacation. So.
Yeah, life is short. Anyway, it has been an absolute pleasure sitting here in this lobby of our. Oh, quickly tell our story about our room.
Oh my goodness! So. Well, when we stayed in Marathon, we got our room upgraded. I think that one was just 2 queens, maybe.
Yeah, we originally booked 2 queen room, like a regular hotel room,
and so then
just 2 beds.
They voluntarily gave us an upgrade. I'm not sure why.
To a 2-bedroom. So
we had this
condo.
Oh my goodness! It was like
could have lived in it. Wasn't it 900 something square foot?
Yeah. Well, I think that's how this one. Yeah, full kitchen. 2.5 baths, 2-bedroom. It was huge.
Oh, with 2 decks. Like the deck was off the living room, and then there's one off the master bedroom.
Yeah. So then when we checked in here, Amanda said, ask for an upgrade. And I said, well, you ask because you have the nice accent. And so she asked if there were any complimentary upgrade.
Yes, I feel like that was the key. Had I just said upgrades, like often this has gone bad for me, and it's like, well, yeah, for an extra $200 you can get this room, and I'm like, yeah, forget it. But I used the word complimentary.
And I think also it was good that check-in was at 4, and that we were there at like 4. We just timed it.
Yes,
we were there at like 5 minutes after 4, so we were kind of first in line if there were any upgraded
and
rooms.
Yes, there was no one else there. Like I went back to grab my car from the valet parking guy at about 5:30, and the lobby was full. There was probably 20 people checking in, so I doubt we would have got the same special treatment. But
anyways, in the pictures, the room that we paid for, we actually saw it in real because the maids were cleaning today, and we peeked into one, and it actually looked much nicer in the pictures really than
on
in
the
reality.
website. Yeah,
just 2 queen beds, just your average room. Like
a dresser, a TV,
like
and
what you get
a bathroom.
at the airport.
Exactly, it was nothing special.
Yeah. So, but we got upgraded, so we have again a very nice, like a condo. So up some stairs. They asked if we were okay with stairs, and
we basically got levels 2 and 3.
Yep, we're not even using our 3rd level, but 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths. This very nice living room with this huge, big, very nice, comfortable couch.
Yeah, huge TV.
3 TVs because the 2 bedrooms and the big TV.
The bathroom.
Yeah, very nice bathroom.
It's like got this huge bar tub, a beautiful shower. Yeah, it's just all the what do you call the toiletries? L'Occitane, which is a French brand, and I love L'Occitane.
And two big decks with nice chairs out on both decks.
Yeah, it's just really it is a massive. Like put it this way, this room was more than double.
Yeah.
So we really have saved probably $1,000.
Yeah, and at least. And we're here for 4 nights, so that's nice.
Yeah. And as Julie and I were saying today, girl math means we've saved 1,000. We probably now got 1,000 to spend.
Yeah, we got to go find something to buy.
Yeah, anyway, we are going to head to bed because we have a long day tomorrow, long exciting day. This has been on my list for so long to do, so I'm very, very excited. But thank you, Julie. I much appreciate you. It's been too long between drinks.
Yeah.
Will you come back again?
Probably.
That is good because you are going to. As we always say, please rate and review us. If it's not 5 stars, Julie.
Yeah, don't even bother.
Oh, I love that you remember this. Yep. Yeah, please reach out to us, Facebook, all that, and we will see you. I think we're going to do another one when we get back.
And talk about the dry tortugas.
If we do it tomorrow or the next day.
Because that was even on your bucket list before I told you.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I said that I need to go this, and you're like, I've heard about some of that's it. Yeah. But yeah, we will chat soon.
Yeah, there was a little bit of rain tonight, so hopefully it'll clear up and everything will be beautiful.
Magic day. Thank you, Julie. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.